Okay, we're going to learn today Chachakka Sutta. Chachakka Sutta means six sets of six. This sutta comes from the Majjhima Nikaya, Paripannasaka in the Salayatana Vagga. Our meditation about this sutta actually, verse about this sutta teaching. So then Buddha was living in the Savatthi, the city called Savatthi, Anathapindika's monastery. Then Buddha addressed the monks, and monks replied to Buddha, "Yes, Bhante," and then Buddha taught this sutta to them. And Buddha beginning here, the very important phrase, Dhammang wo bhikkhave desessami adi kalyanam majje kalyanam paryosana kalyanam. Sattang sabhyanjanam kevala paripunnam parisuddham brahmacharyam pakasessami iti. Buddha says, I am going to teach you Adi Kalyana, beautiful in the beginning. The teaching, Buddha going to teach Dhamma. This Dhamma in the beginning is so beautiful, so great, so good. Majja Kalyana, middle is also beautiful and so great, amazing, wonderful teaching. Paryosana Kalyana, even in the end of this teaching is also beautiful, right? In the end of this teaching is also wonderful, amazing, great. Then Adi Kalyanam, this Dhamma, beginning is beautiful, middle also beautiful, end of this Dhamma is also beautiful. Then whole teaching is beautiful. Not only beautiful, Satam, very meaningful. Satam, very meaningful. Sabhyanjanam, very clear explanation, very clear praises, including this Dhamma with good, clear praises. Kevala Paripurna, complete and perfect. Kevala Paripurna. There are no anything less, anything miss. There are no anything missing. This teaching is complete and perfect. Not only that, also Parishuddhang, pure, right? Pure and clear, clear. Before beginning Buddha the teaching, and Buddha said, those monks, I'm going to teach you, because I'm going to teach you Dhamma, which is beautiful in the beginning, middle, and in the end, and also very meaningful with good, clear praises and perfect and pure. And then monk said, uh, then Buddha said, oh, you listen up and pay your attention, very close attention, what I'm going to say. And Bhikkhu said, yes, sir. Then Buddha said, ajjatikani ayatanani veditabbani, because you should know a six internal sense basis. Ajjatika means internal, and ayatana and internal sense bases. Now you know what are the internal sense bases, right?
Mhm.
Remember anyone? Internal sense bases. Remember? Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, right? And these are six: eye, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. These internal sense bases supposed to be understood. Supposed to be understood. And bahirani ayatanani veditabbani. External sense, the six sense bases also must be understood, right? Uh, Mikhail, you remember the in external sense basis?
The external sense
Oh,
basis.
my
We
fault.
have Michael.
Yes,
That's
okay,
okay.
okay, Michael. Okay, go
You
ahead.
can call me, you can call me anything, but just don't call me late
Now
for
I
supper.
got a young guy here. His name Mikhail.
Oh, sorry,
No, no,
Mikhail.
no, no, no. That's okay. He's very happy you're gonna answer for that.
No, I want him to answer.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. The external sense bases are forms, sounds, odors, taste, touches, and thoughts. Right?
Hmm.
These external sense bases supposed to be understood. Now we said two, right? Internal and external, two. The
Right.
three is cha,
Conscious.
cha vijnana kaya veditabba.
Hmm.
Six types of consciousness supposed to be understood. Anyone can say the six types of consciousness: eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness,
Hmm.
tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and mind consciousness. These are the six types of consciousness. These six types of consciousness supposed to be understood, right? And then
Hmm.
cha pasakaya veditabba. Six types of contact must be understood. Six types of contact. Remember six types of contact?
Hmm.
Eye contact, ear
Hmm.
contact, right? Remember eye, form, meet, eye
Hmm.
consciousness arise. These three together call eye consciousness. It's many suttas explaining it. Chakkuncha paticca rupecha uppajjati chakku vijnanam tinnam sangati passu. Chakkuncha paticca rupecha uppajjati chakku vijnanam tinnam sangati passu. Eye form, eye consciousness, these three together, eye contact. Sotancha saddecha paticca uppajjati sota vijnanam tinnam sangati passu. Ears, sounds, ear consciousness, three
Hmm.
together, ear contact. This contact in Pali called phassa is very important thing because after this contact, a feeling arises,
Hmm.
right? If you remember dependent origination,
Hmm.
salayatana paccha phasso, Depending on sense basis, there are contact. Pasapaccha Vedana, depending on contact, feeling. Vedana Pacha Tanna, depending on feeling, craving. That's how it is going. This contact is very important thing. This is one of nutrition to us to exist in the samsara. It's called pasahara. There are four nutritions to sentient beings to exist in the samsara.
Mm.
One is the food we eat daily, gross and subtle food. And other three, the second one is pasa, whatever now we talk about, contact. And third one, mano sanchetana, volitional formations. And fourth one is consciousness. These are the four nutritions to sentient beings to exist in the samsara. This pasa, contact, Buddha explained in the one of sutta called Putta Mansa Sutta. Buddha gave us simile to understand this contact like a flayed cow.
Mm.
In that sutta, Putta Mansa Sutta, Buddha explaining there's a flayed cow, no skin. Remove the skin. Then,
Mm.
then cow going and uh, touch to a tree. What's
Mm.
going to happen? Whatever insects live in the tree and bite the cow because no skin, a flayed skin.
Mm.
Then she cannot stay under a tree, the insect biting her, and she go and touch to a wall, uh, leaning to a wall. The whatever insect in the wall and start to bite her, right? She can't survive, and then she going to a water. Now she going to stay in the water, whatever fish in the water, and start to bite her because no skin, flayed cow. Then she
Mm.
can't stay in this water and she come and stay in the open area. Whatever the birds, flies, and they start to bite her. There are no place that cow, flayed cow, to survive. Wherever she goes, she get contact. She get contact. The contact we have is like this. When we have eye, then we see. Then eye consciousness arise, then contact. When you hear something through the ears, ear consciousness arise, then ear contact. When you smell something, nose consciousness arise, and then nose contact. When you taste something, tongue consciousness arise, then tongue contact. Right? When you touch by this body, then body consciousness arise, then contact. When you think something, then mind consciousness arise, then contact. These are
Mm.
the six contacts supposed to be understood. Okay, that's the fourth one. The fifth one, cha, Vedana Kaya Veditabba. Six types of feelings must be understood.
Mm.
Six types of feelings. It's called Chakku Sampassaja Vedana. That feeling arises because of the eye form, eye consciousness, eye contact, and eye feeling. The feeling depending on the I, right? Then another feeling uh, arise depending on the ear. Ear and sounds, ear consciousness, ear contact, then feeling. When you hear something, we got some kind of feeling, right? Right, Mika?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. When we smell something, we feel something. When we taste something, we feel something. When we touch something, we feel something. When we think something, we feel something. These are the 6 types of feelings supposed to be understood. Right, Michael?
Of course.
Yes. And
We
these,
feel we can't feel anything if we have no contact with it, whether it be we see it or we hear it, and then we have a feeling about it,
right.
pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, but a
Yes.
feeling up.
Yes. Yes, that's right. And
Yeah.
these are the 6 types of feelings, and that's the fifth one. And sixth one is the 6 types of craving supposed to be understood. 6 types of craving. Um, this craving is 6 types. Craving depending on the I. When I
Mm-hmm.
see something, I consciousness, then contact, then feeling, then craving. Craving for the things we see, the craving for the whatever we hear, the craving for the whatever we smell, craving for the whatever we taste, whatever we touch, whatever we think, and we craving for it. These are the 6 types of craving have to be understood. And now six, right? Internal sense basis, external sense basis, 6 types of consciousness, 6 types of contact, 6 type of feeling, and 6 type of cravings. And these are the six. Each one have a six. This is why this sutta called Chachakka, 6 sets of six. If you have any question, please ask me. Ask me, okay? Okay. Then Buddha explaining here, they whatever we meditated, and chakkuncha paticca rupecha uppajati chakku vijnanam, I forms and I consciousness. Um, okay. Now Buddha going to explain. Um, any of these, any of these, any of internal sense basis or external sense basis, or any of 6 type of consciousness, or any of 6 types of contact, or any of 6 type of feelings or cravings, right? Any of these is permanent or impermanent.
Mm-hmm.
If someone say, Buddha says, if someone say this I is permanent, or there are self in the I, or there are self in the forms, but it is not true. But we can see this I arising and the disappearing, right? Then there are no self in the I. Buddha explaining in the sutta, how could we say there is a self in the eyes or forms? Or there's a self even in the I consciousness. We cannot say that because even that I consciousness is arising and passing away. If someone say there's self in the contact, It is not true because the contact is arising and passing away. There are no self in the feeling. The feeling also arising and passing away. And there are no self in the craving. The craving also arising and passing away. Then Buddha says, Chakkung anatta. The I is selfless. If someone say I is the self, it is not going to happen. It is not possible. Why it is not possible? Because I dying. If something dying and disappearing, there are no self in there.
Mm.
Right, Michael?
Of course, we
Yes.
have no self. It's illusion.
Right. That's why we meditate and study to dispel and destroy that illusion. And then Buddha says, if someone say rupa attati, if someone say the forms are self, there are self in the forms, it is not possible. It is not possible because that forms we can see arising and passing away and disappearing and perishing. If something perish, destroyed and disappearing, how could we say there is a self in there? Self is not
Mm,
supposed to be perished. Self is not supposed to be die. Self is not supposed to be disappear.
mm,
It
mm,
is must be internal. It's supposed to be eternal,
mm,
and not aging, not dying and disappearing. But any forms, there are no eternal.
mm,
Then there are no self. It's clear, right? Is that right? It is clear. There are no self in the forms. It is evidence. There's the evidence we can see forms are arising and growing old and disappearing.
mm,
Then there are no self in there.
mm,
Then Buddha says, Chakku viññānaṁ attātiyo vadeya, tang na upapajjati. If someone say that I consciousness is the self, I
mm,
consciousness is the self, it is not possible. Buddha say it is not possible. It is not possible because I consciousness is impermanent, arising and passing away, disappearing.
mm,
Then I is not self, forms are not self, even I consciousness is not self. If someone say that it is not true, it's not right, and it is no evidence for that. Because we can see this I consciousness arising and passing away, arising and passing away. Then, then someone could say, eye contact is the self. Eye contact is the self, but eye contact is it. If someone say that, but it is not possible either, because eye
mm,
contact is also arising and passing away, arising and passing away, arising and passing away. It is not eternal, and there are no self in the eye contact.
mm, mm,
There are no evidence to say the eye contact is the self. It is
mm,
not because it is dying and passing away. And if someone say the feeling is the self, if someone say feeling is the self, it is not true too, because that feeling is also impermanent, arising and passing away. Then if someone could say the craving is the self, craving for the feeling is the self. No, it is not evidence to say that that craving also arising and passing away, right? Arising and passing away. Then Buddha says, iti chakku anatta. In this case, I is selfless. For rupa anatta, forms are selfless. Chakku vijnanam anatta, I consciousness is selfless. The contact, I form and consciousness three together contact. That contact is also anatta, selfless. Vedana, feeling, is also selfless. Tanha, tanha, craving, craving also anatta. Tanha attatyo vadeya. If someone says tanha, craving is the self, it is not possible. Then self craving is also selfless. Okay. Because it is very clear. We can see a rise in the babies. So many babies born. We can see every day babies born, and they are growing, and also dying, right? Dying, dying, right? Now is the winter almost coming. Now it's already come. I think have come. No, right? Not yet, right? Not yet. Oh, yeah, it's winter about to come. Now we can see the trees becoming change slowly. And in the winter, all the leaves going to fall down. So after winter, then summer arrives. Then the new leaves, new flowers arise. Temporary, and it will disappear. The same thing in everything in the world. Everything in the Dhammapada, there's a very popular, famous verse called Sabbe Sankhara Anicca. Sabbe Sankhara Anicca. All conditional things are impermanent. All conditional things means whatever exists in this whole universe is impermanent. Impermanent, right, Mika? Yeah. And also Sabbe Dhamma Anatta. All Dhammas, everything is selfless. Mm. So
If anyone's.
then in this sutta, Buddha explaining, we cannot say this I is the I am the I. I is mine. I is myself. It is possible to say, what do you think? It is possible to say I is the I. No, eyes are the I, right? It is not possible, right? Eyes are mine. If we say these eyes are mine, we think these eyes are mine. We talk in this case, eyes are mine. But the actual thing is the eyes is not belong to me. If it is belong to me, it could be possible to say don't change eyes, or my eyes don't change. Stay healthy. Can you control it? Very Do you think we could control your eyes? Can you say, don't change my eyes because eyes are mine? Then stay according to me. Stay what I want, but I can keep eyes as I wish. It means eyes not mine, right? And eyes also not myself because it is disappearing. Then forms are not I or mine or myself. But the people when they love each other, they say, you are mine. And mother says, you are my boy, you are my baby. Right? That's true. They say, you are my baby, you are mine. And then boyfriend say to girlfriend, you are mine. Right? We say it is mine, don't touch it, it is mine. But the reality, it is not mine. We can't keep it forever, right? We can't keep it forever. Then why we say it is mine? Because we communicate in this case, but the reality is not that. Whatever we say it is mine, then I think I grasp it, I crave in for it, I hold it, I attach to it, right? That's the problem. Whatever we say mine, I or mine, then we attach to it. To break this, then we have to realize there are no anything called I or mine, right? Right? This is the way to enlightenment, to breaking the bond, breaking the bond. We bond to our eyes. We say these eyes are I or mine or myself. Forms are I or mine or myself. Or I consciousness is the I and mine or myself. Eye contact is the I and mine and myself. The feeling, depending on the eye contact, is the I, mine, and myself. Craving for that feeling is the I and mine and myself. We attach to these all sense, internal and external sense bases and six type of consciousness because we think these ears are I and mine and myself. Sounds are my I and mine and myself. Ear consciousness is I and mine and myself. Ear contact, ear feeling, craving, I and mine and myself. Nose is I, nose is mine, nose is myself. Nose consciousness is I, mine, myself. External orders, I, mine, myself. Contact, feeling, craving. We cannot say I, mine, myself. Tongue is I. We think this is my tongue. We we say that. We cannot say it. It is not mine because it's disappearing, vanishing. Then tastes is not I or mine or myself. Tongue consciousness is not I or mine or myself. Rising and passing away, rising and passing away. So the tongue contact, tongue feeling, craving for that taste is also not I or mine or myself. When this body, now let's go to the body. This body, we can say I. This is I. This is Subodha. This is Mikhail, right? There's a Michael. There's a Vadi, um, Patricia, Yupin. And we say this figure, this body is the I. Ignorantly we think this is I, but the reality is impermanent. Whatever it is will be disappear. Then we cannot say this is mine. If it is mine, Buddha said once, if it is mine, you're supposed to keep it forever. You suppose if you say something, if you say this body, don't change it, stay healthy, stay young, always stay young. But this body does not exist as you wish, right? You want to keep your body healthy and uh, uh, beauty, right? Pretty, right? We want to stay as pretty, as healthy, because this is I, this is mine. If it is mine, then this body is supposed to be always stay pretty and healthy, but it is not. Then there are no evidence to say this body is I or mine or myself. It is arising, growing, and disappearing. Then there are no self in the body, right? We have very strong bond to this body as I and mine and myself. That's why we become mad when we get sick, right? Buddha never did that. Buddha, it's never happened to Buddha. Buddha got sick, but he didn't become mad because Buddha understood this is not him. It is not his. There's a there's a there's a law. There's a law. There's a law. What's the law? Three characteristics, three lakshana. It's impermanent. Impermanent. That's the law. That's the nature. That's the reality. Reality is the impermanent. Reality is the impermanent, right? Impermanent. Impermanent means temporary, not exist forever. Arising and passing away, arising and passing away. Whatever is arising and passing away, how could we say it is I or mine? And how could we bond to this, attach to this, whatever impermanent, whatever disappearing? If we attach to it, it is our ignorance. If we crave into it, it is our ignorance. That's our weakness. That's our weakness. Our weakness is we think this is I and mine, and we attach so much to this, we won't keep it healthy. Whenever hair become gray, we become sad. Whenever skin become wrinkled, we become sad. When we losing our vitality, and we become sad. Um, but whoever the wise, very wise, and they understand the impermanent nature. They say everything is impermanent. There are nothing. Buddha says, Sabbe Sankhara Anicca. All conditional things are impermanent. Everything is impermanent. Everything is impermanent. There are nothing, anything permanent. And Sabbe Dhammanata, everything is selfless. It is selfless because there are no eternal entity. In the Satta Surya Gamana Sutta, Buddha explaining this earth going to burn out. This earth going to burn out and destroy. We're not able to even find the ashes of the earth. Buddha said, we're not able to find the ashes of the earth when this burn out. Buddha gave a simile. It's like a kapuru. What's that English called? Something, Michael, there's something, material things. When we burn out, it's burning, but there are no ashes remain. Like kapur, when we burn it, it's burn out, there are no ashes. Likewise, when this earth one day will burn out, we're not able to even find the ashes. It is also spreading in the universe, right? Then where's the self? There are no
Yeah.
self.
Mm.
This
Oh no.
sutta is very clearly explained.
Mm.
I forms, I consciousness, I contact, feeling, and craving. These six
Mm.
are selfless, impermanent, and selfless. Right? This is the sutta about six chachakka, six sets of six. All
Mm.
these six things. Then body is impermanent and selfless. Whatever touch, whatever touch by the body
Mm.
is impermanent too. If I touch you, you impermanent. If I touch this building, it is impermanent. If I touch,
Mm.
whatever I touch, it is impermanent.
Mm.
There are no self. Selfless. Why we think it's as self? Because our
Mm.
ignorant, our ignorance, our ignorance. Ignorantly we think this body is I and mine and myself.
Yep.
What about the mind? Okay, mind. Mind is the I. Mind is the I. You think. You think mind is the I. Patricia, you can unmute them. What do you think? We we think
Mm.
mind. We have ignorance. We have ignorance about the mind. We think mind is eternal, eternal thing.
Mm.
Mind is eternal things, but it's not true. It is not
Mm.
possible. Why, Michael? Mind is arising and passing away in right there.
Mind is passing away. Mind is arising every second. The great teacher
Hmm.
Bodhidharma in China, somebody came to him and said, "My mind is unsettled.
Hmm.
What should I do?" And Bodhidharma said, "I can fix that.
Hmm.
Just bring me your mind."
Hmm.
So the man went out to find his mind and figure out how he was going to show his mind to Bodhidharma. And in the end, after a long time, he completely gave up. And he said, "I can't find my mind. I
Right,
can't show it to you." And Bodhidharma said, "You see, I've cured you."
right, right. Buddha gave a simile to the um, consciousness to understand.
Mm.
When we collect some kind of grasses, dry grasses, we collect dry grasses and burn it. It
Mm.
is called the grass fire. Grass
Mm.
fire. If we
Mm.
collect wood, and we collect wood and fire it,
Mm.
and that we call wood fire. Wood fire. Not the same fire, so that's a wood fire. We
Mm.
collect hay. We collect hay, right?
Mm.
Hay, so the piduru, hay, and then we burn it, fire it.
Mm.
Then it's burning. We call this a hay fire,
Mm. That's right.
right? And there are many. Whatever the fire catch, we name it for that.
Mm.
Then the consciousness is the same thing. I consciousness, ear consciousness, body consciousness. The mind is called is whatever we catch, touch, and then mind get it. That's When you see something, that mind is arise and gone. It's gone, no more. When you hear something, there's another one.
mm,
There are no only one and only thing. It is
mm,
arise because of there are something to exist. And in this sutta, Buddha explaining, okay, I form, I consciousness, contact, feeling, craving. When we craving, tanha pacha upadanam, depending on craving, then we attached.
mm,
That's the problem. Then tan upadana pacha bhav, when we attached, then existence. Because we attach, we holding. Then we, after death, even we continue because we holding. Then upadana pacha bhav, because of the grasping and attachment,
mm,
then becoming. Bhavapacha
mm,
jati, then existence, then birth,
mm,
right? Then after birth, all the mass of suffering arise.
mm,
This is the dependent origination. Whatever we see, we craving for it, then we attached for it, then the existence, then birth. Whatever we hear, we craving for it, we attach to it and grasping, holding, and then existence, then rebirth again. Whatever we smell, whatever we taste, whatever we touch, whatever we think, and if we craving for it, we attach to it, not separate, we holding it, and we die with it, and we become again, and will born again. To
mm,
break this, and Buddha says to meditate this I impermanent and selfless. Forms
mm,
are impermanent, selfless. I consciousness impermanent and selfless. Contact is impermanent and selfless. Feeling impermanent and selfless. Craving impermanent and selfless. Then this most important thing is whatever we feel, we're not supposed to craving for it. That's the breaking point. That's the point we have to break it. Whatever we hear, we have a consciousness, contact, and feeling, but we're not supposed to craving for it.
mm,
Whatever we smell, we have feeling, but we're not supposed to craving for it. Whatever we taste, we have feeling, but we're not supposed to craving for it. Whatever we touch, we have feeling, then not supposed to craving for it. The craving
mm,
is the problem. You know, that's the second truth of the Four Noble Truth. Second truth of the Four Noble Truth.
mm.
What's the craving? Yo tasaya tanhaya asesa viraga nirodho. No, I'm sorry. Uh, uh, Yayan tanha pono bhavika nandiraga sagata tatra tatrabhinandini. Sayatidan kamatanna bhavatanna vibhavatanna. Yayan tanha, a craving which is pono bhavika, make it become, giving rebirth. Craving, yayan tanna pono bhavika, craving which is giving rebirth. Pono bhavika, nandiraga sagata, delight in here and there. Whatever we see, whatever we contact, whatever we feel, we craving for it. Tatra tatra vinandini, and we become in delight here and there, whatever it is, and we delight it. We then when we delight it, that craving is the three types for sensual pleasure, that craving for existence, and that craving for non-existence. And this is the craving. This is the cause of whole mass of suffering. This is the origin of whole mass of suffering. To break this craving, we have to meditate this sense basis, internal and external, six type of consciousness, six type of contact, six types of feeling as impermanent and selfless. Okay, this is teaching for today. If you have any question, actually, finally, Buddha says in this sutta, we have to disenchant about the eyes, disenchant about the forms, disenchant about the eye consciousness, disenchant about the eye contact and eye feeling, disenchant about that craving, disenchant, nibbida. In Pali, it is called nibbida, dispassion,
Vedante.
or revulsion, repulsion, the disenchantment about those all internal and external sense bases and consciousness, contact and feelings. When we disenchant, okay,
Mm,
when we disenchant, when we then we not craving for it, when we disenchant, when we dispassionate about it, then no craving, no attachment. And that is the vimucchati, and that is the freedom. No attachment,
mm,
that's the freedom, right? No craving, no attachment, that's the freedom,
mm.
liberation. Viraga vimuchyati, vimuttasmi vimuttamiti jnanam hoti. Then when we freed, we know we freed, right? To freed, then we have to meditate, right? Okay. Then monks was happy when they listened to Buddha.
Mm,
And also says there's a 60 something monks was enlightened when they hear into this teaching.
mm,
Satti mattanam bhikkhunan anupadaya asave chittani vimuchinsu. The 60 something monks was freed from the defilements when they hear these teachings. Right there. Okay. Any question before we end the session?
mm.
Oh, your cat is there. Okay. Hmm. What do you think?
Anyway,
What do you think? Nothing to say? Nothing to say or share? Mm-hmm.
well, it's pretty easy just to think about it. It's an interesting difference between our word, in English, our word understand. I think we understand, but there's a deeper kind of understanding, which is experiential. And that's where we need to hit it. In other words, to understand it, like reading a book, for example, we understand it intellectually, our minds understand it, but we have to understand it very deep so that it becomes reality for us. That's the hard part, I think. In other words, it's easy to say, I understand that with craving, suffering ends. So if craving ends, suffering ends. If suffering ends, this is the cure. But we don't. We just kind of hang on. We always hang on to something. Take grief, for example. We understand that that death is inevitable, that youth leads to middle age leads to old age leads to sickness and pain, and sickness and pain lead to death. We understand that, but yet we mourn, we cry when somebody close to us dies, right? So that's kind of proof that we don't have it inside us, you know. The eyeballs of the Buddha, the eyebrows of the Buddha, we say. So that is what we need to work on, I think. And I speak for myself, of course.
This is Jayanta. I just came from my trip, and I was lucky that I was able to listen to this Dhamma. But according to me, now see, if we start doing this meditation with the sixth sense, and when you see something, your mindfulness coming to you, and then the both seeing and the mindful that we learn, and then we can see two different ways, because we are mindful is now remembering what we thought. So that way we can detach. Or in case if you want to go and buy something, you try to find the both ways. Do I really need this, or why I am buying, kind of thing. So it's same thing. When you see something from your eyes, if you feel like I'm going to attach this, so you will be able to recognize now. I don't just let it go, kind of stuff. So it might be easy if you think of what you see, what you hear. If you bring up the mindful that with them, Bante taught us. So that way we can be a little bit more careful about the attachment and detach and things like that. So it will improve our way of looking at and apply the Dhamma. That's my way of looking at the world, and releasing, not attaching. Unless if it's really wanted, then you can say, yes, this purpose I'm going to have this one.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
little by little.
Okay.
You had to look good. You had to hear good.
Yes.
Okay. The practice we make is the most important thing, is practicing whatever we experience in our life, and we put it into practice. Then we will grow with that. Okay, let me end up the session today. It was too late. Sorry about that.
All right.
And to transfer merits with our departed ones and with ghosts and gods, with all sentient beings, may they all share these merits. By sharing these merits, may they all be born in the happy realms. And by the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, by the power of these merits, you may live happily, peacefully, without any afflictions. And finally, may we all be able to attain to enlightenment. Akasatta Chibummatta Deva Naga Mahitika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakkantu Sasanang Chirang Rakkantu Desanang Chirang Rakkantu Mamparang Sabbhitiyo Vivajjantu Sabbarugo Vinasatu Mate Bhavatvantarayo Sukhi Digayuko Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakkantu Sabba Devata Sabba Buddhanubhavena Sada Sutti Bhavantu Te Sabba Dhammanubhavena Sada Sutti Bhavantu Te Sabba Sanghanubhavena Sada Sutti Bhavantu Te. Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Sadhu, sadhu, Bante.
Thank you, Bante.
Thank you, Bante.
Thank you, Bante.
Thank you.